Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14. We have been hearing the beautiful prayers that Lord Brahma offered to Lord Krishna. After he understood Krishna's position as God, Brahma was thinking that he is the greatest person in the universe. There's no one greater than him. And he could not understand that this small boy, this small cowherd boy, who's playing with his friends and who's, with the calves, he's actually God. And when Krishna showed him that how all the Narayan forms are coming from him, and that's when Lord Brahma realized Krishna's position as God. And he offered very beautiful prayers to Krishna. And he said that his only desire was that he can engage in devotional service to Krishna. After glorifying Krishna's position as God, as Antaryami, as the supreme controller, he said that people who are in knowledge, they get pure knowledge from the spiritual master, and that is how they can leave this world of birth and death. But those who are proud and who don't accept the knowledge of the scriptures, they continue living in this ocean of material world. And then his prayer is that he wants to engage in devotional service always. So reading on, Shishuko Vacha.
वैशाली जी I will read.
हाँ बोलिए वैशाली यूरी.
श्रीशुक उवाच
इति अभिष्टूय भूमानं
इति अभिस्तूयं भूमानं
त्रिपरिक्रम्य पादयो
त्रे परिक्रम्य पादयो
नत्वाभीष्टं जगद्धाता
नत्वा भीष्टं जगद्दाता
स्वधामा प्रत्यपद्यत.
स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यतं पद्यत.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sukadev Goswami said, having thus offered his prayers, Brahma circumambulated his worshipable Lord, the unlimited personality of Godhead, 3 times, and then bowed down at his lotus feet. The appointed creator of the universe then returned to his own residence. Although Lord Brahma had prayed to take birth as a blade of grass in Vrindavan, or even in the area surrounding Vrindavan, Lord Krishna, by his silent response to Brahma's prayers, indicated that Brahma should return to his own abode. So Lord Brahma, he realized the super excellent position of the Brajbasis, that how God himself, the supreme creator, the supreme controller, is here playing with the Brajbasis, and that he loves the Brajbasis so much and they love him so much. And Lord Brahma realized that this is the ultimate glory of Lord, the ultimate opulence of the Lord. And it is very confidential. So he prayed that he can become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Lord Brahma is so great. He is the controller of this universe, the creator of the universe, the engineer of the universe. He's the oldest person in this universe. And he is praying that he can become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Why? So that when the Brajvasis walk, he can get the dust of their lotus feet on his head. That he can get their blessings, that as they are so fortunate to be with Krishna and Krishna Leela, to have this beautiful relationship with Krishna, Lord Brahma is seeking their blessings so that even he can have like this kind of a very loving relationship with Krishna. So Lord Brahma, you offered such beautiful prayers, but Krishna didn't say anything. Krishna made him feel, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Brahmaloka. You're such a great demigod. You go do your service over there. Let me play here with my friends and my cows in this forest. And you go and do your service. You continue with your service in Brahmaloka. So first Brahma had to complete his personal devotional service of universal creation. Then he could come to Vrindavan and get the mercy of the inhabitants there. In other words, a devotee should always be attentive to executing his personal devotional service properly. This is more important than trying to live in the Lord's abode. So it's Lord Brahma's service to Krishna. Krishna has appointed Lord Brahma to manage this universe. Whenever there is some problem, then the lower demigods will go to Lord Brahma and he will try to solve the problem. And if he cannot, then he goes to Lord Vishnu. So here, although Lord Brahma desires that he can also live in Vrindavan, be with Krishna all the time, but Krishna is indicating to him that you still have your service, go do your service there first. So for us also, we have our services, then we need to do our service. The service that is given to each and every one of us in this Kali Yuga by Lord Chaitanya is Yare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. That we chant Hare Krishna and we engage others in chanting Hare Krishna. That is our service. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, those who give this message of Bhagavad Gita to others are very dear to me. So we are trying to become dear to Lord Krishna, that we chant Hare Krishna, we read Bhagavad Gita, and we encourage others to do so. Any comments, questions? No?
No.
Okay, then let's go on. Tato nun gyapya bhagavan
ततो ज्ञाप्य भगवान्
स्वभुवं prag avasthitan
स्वभुवं प्रागवस्थितान्
vatsan pulinam aninye
वत्सान् पुलिनं मानिन्ये
yatha purva sakham swakam.
यथा पूर्वसखं स्वकम्.
After granting his son Brahma permission to leave, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took the calves who were still there, who were still where they had been a year earlier, and brought them to the river bank, where he had been taking his meal and where his cowherd boyfriends remained just as before. The word Swabhuva to his own son indicates that Lord Krishna forgave the offense Brahma had committed and treated him with affection as his son. So, if we do research work, who's my father, my father's father, my father's father, like that, we can do research work, father's father, and all of us is going to come to Lord Brahma because he's the original person of this universe. And then, but who created Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma says, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bijami. My dear Lord Govinda, you are my seed giving father. Lord Brahma, he comes from the navel of Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. He's lying on the causal ocean. From his navel comes a lotus, and Lord Brahma is created there. So Lord Brahma is Krishna's own son. Lord Brahma, he did an offense for Krishna. To those who have joined us today new, welcome. Komal, Sunena, Seema, Vinita. So just like a background, but this is like Brahma, he's very powerful. And he's seeing here that Krishna is playing with his friends and he's having a picnic with his friends and with the calves in Vrindavan. And uh, they're just having like childhood playing games. So Lord Brahma is like, how can this be God? God means somebody, people have to do puja, have to offer him arti, have to bow down before him. How can this small boy Krishna be God? Here he's eating his friend's juta, they are giving his juta, they're taking his food, he's taking their food. This cannot be God. So what he did is that he stole Krishna's friends and the calves. And he said, let me see now what Krishna does. Now I can show I am more powerful than Krishna. But what did Krishna do? He just expanded himself and became the calves and the cowherd boys. And in fact, then Lord Brahma got confused. He's like, hey, what happened? I thought I stole these calves and the cowherd boys, the gopas and the calves. I thought I stole them. How come they are new here? So he goes back to the cave. And he thought that maybe they've, come out of the cave somehow, but they were still there. And when he comes out, he says they are still there. He gets himself so confused. That's why this Leela is called Brahma Vimohan Leela. That Lord Brahma, he tried to confuse God, but he himself got confused by Krishna's energy. Then Krishna showed him that, okay, he expanded. This is Krishna who has expanded as all the Vishnu forms, the four-armed forms of Lord Vishnu, and everybody is worshipping them. And then finally, Krishna showed him that how all the four arms of all the forms of Vishnu, they again come into Lord Krishna. And Krishna is the original form of God. So Krishna forgave Brahma's offense because, God, we are all God's children. So as our child may do something wrong for us, with us, but we can't hold any grudge against them, right? That's how a parent is. So Krishna also, he forgave him. It is stated in this verse that the original cowherd boyfriends and calves were situated just as before, near the bank of the Yamuna River and in the forest respectively. Previously, the calves had disappeared within the forest, and Lord Krishna had gone to search for them. Not finding them, the Lord had returned to the river bank to discuss the situation with his cowherd boyfriends, but they had also disappeared. Now the cows were once again in the forest and the boyfriends once again on the bank of the river, ready to take their lunch. So, because Lord Brahma had stolen them. And then, but what did Krishna do to the original calves and friends? He had put them under Yoga Maya. According to Srila Sanatan Goswami, the calves and boys remained in the forest and on the river bank respectively for 1 full year. Lord Brahma did not actually take them away to another place. By the Lord's omnipotent illusory energy, the gopis and other residents of Vrindavan did not notice the calves and boys, nor did the calves and boys notice the passing of a year's time or feel any hunger, cold, or thirst. So just like how we see that Mother Sita, Ravan did not take the real Mother Sita. He took Maya Sita. Ravan could not touch real Mother Sita. Real. That's why when the Agni Pariksha is supposed to happen, actually what happens is Maya Sita enters the Agni and the real Sita comes out. So similarly here, Brahma also couldn't take away the real friends of Krishna and the real calves. They were still there. Lord Brahma took the Maya ones because he cannot touch. He cannot touch the Krishna's friends and cows. They're all spiritual. So they were all under Krishna's Yoga Maya potency, his spiritual energy. This is explanation given by Sanatan Goswami, one of our acharyas. And the boys and the calves remained there for 1 year. They didn't even realize 1 year has passed, and nor did anyone else notice that these friends are there. So we may think, oh, how can somebody stay there for 1 year and not feel anything, no hunger, no sleep? How come nobody can notice them? Well, this is what we are saying, that Krishna's leelas are inconceivable. Inconceivable. We cannot even imagine how his leelas are happening. That is how God's potency. With our mind, we always like to say, no, God can do this and he cannot do that. But that we are putting a condition on God. Whereas God doesn't work according to our condition. God is omnipotent. He has multiple potencies of how he can act. So all this was part of the pastime arranged by the Lord's illusory potency. Lord Brahma thought, I have kept all the boys and calves of Gokul sleeping on the bed of my mystic potency, and to this very day they have not risen. A similar number of boys and calves had been playing with Krishna for one whole year, yet they are different from the ones illusioned by my mystic potency. Who are they? Where did they come from? So this Leela actually goes on for 1 year. For Lord Brahma, it's just one moment. He thought, oh, I've stolen the boys and the calves. I've hidden them in the cave. So it's one moment for Lord Brahma. But for the earth, it was 1 year. And for 1 year, Krishna had expanded as the calves and the boys. And we read in the earlier chapter that how there was so much love between the calves and the cows and the gopas and the gopis and their children. Why? Because this was Krishna himself who had expanded. Nothing is invisible to the Supreme Lord. Thus, Lord Krishna appeared to be searching for the calves and boys, only to enact the dramatic pastime of bewildering Lord Brahma. We read earlier that, we may try to compete with God, we may try to challenge God, but instead, what happens is we ourselves get bewildered. Lord Brahma was challenging Krishna's position as God, and Lord Brahma himself got confused. He didn't know what's happening. And then finally understood, Krishna is God. He is omnipotent. After Brahma surrendered and offered prayers, Lord Krishna returned to the original boys and calves, who appeared exactly as before, although their size had somewhat increased because of 1 year's growth. So 1 year had passed, and so now they are looking a little bit bigger than the previous year. We also see as time passes by, our bodies change. According to, is that okay till now? Anybody, any comments, questions?
No, clear.
Okay. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is one of the acharyas. He's written many commentaries and many books. Since Lord Krishna was playing exactly like an innocent young cowherd boy in Vrindavan, after four-headed Brahma offered his prayers, the Lord maintained his role as a young cowherd boy and thus remained silent before Brahma. Krishna's silence indicates the following thoughts. Where did this four-headed Brahma come from? What is he doing? What are these words he keeps on speaking? I am busy looking for my calves. I'm just a cowherd boy and do not understand all this. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining to us why Krishna didn't say anything. Lord Brahma has offered very beautiful prayers. We were reading these prayers since past couple of weeks. And with so much knowledge, so much devotion, Lord Brahma offered these prayers. And with so much regret, he was so regretful that, oh my God, what did I do? I took away your calves and your friends. But here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining why Krishna didn't say anything. Because here, Krishna is a small boy. He's at home, like how we are at home and we are in the office. We play different roles. So here, God is in his home. He's like, I'm a small boy. I'm here with my friends, with my calves. I'm just busy looking for them. Why are you talking to me? Why are you offering these prayers to me? And we can see every time it's mentioned four-headed Brahma. One may think, why is again saying four-headed Brahma? Because our Brahma has four heads. There are other universes with other Brahmas which have 10 heads, 100 heads, 1,000 heads. Some have millions of heads, considering the size of the universe. So Lord Brahma had considered Lord Krishna an ordinary cowherd boy and had treated him as such. After accepting Brahma's prayers, Krishna continued to play as a cowherd boy and thus did not answer the four-headed Brahma. Rather, Krishna was more interested in rejoining his cowherd boyfriends for the picnic lunch on the bank of the Yamuna River. So Krishna was more interested to continue playing with his Brajbasis than hearing his glorification. What we may do is somebody glorifies us, we'll say, oh, say more, say more. We will hear and listen. Let me see how this person is speaking so good about me and glorifying me, worshipping me is so good. Although our lips may say something else. Outwardly, we may say, no, no, what you're doing. But inwardly, we may be enjoying. Yeah, yeah. Finally, you understood how great I am. See, now finally you understand my worth. But Krishna is not saying that. Krishna is very much more interested to play with his cows and calves rather than hear all this glorification by Lord Brahma. So we are going to stop here. Only I'm just a bit pressed for time today. I'm not sure if anyone had any comments or questions. Okay.
Just
So,
one question, Shilpa ji, for the
हाँ
clarification.
हाँ
So
बोलो.
that means that वो वहीं पर थे बच्चे. All of
हाँ
them were
हाँ बच्चे
there,
वहीं पे थे.
right?
हाँ,
As we have read it earlier, that they were there and they were covered by Yog Maya,
that's right. The original
and
boys and
nobody could
calves
see.
were there. That's right. Yeah, nobody could see.
Okay.
Original ones were there. Lord Brahma took only the Maya ones.
Maya.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
ओके, ठीक है. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील
Yeah.
प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त
Yeah.
वृंद की जय. हरे
Yeah.
कृष्णा. Thank you all for listening.